So my beautiful girls and my handsome boys, welcome back again to your favorite astrology channel, the one and only Jupivan Astrology. And so if you are a male, you can watch this video for your wife. If you are female, you can watch this video for your husband. In this video, we'll talk something about your spouse by looking at your 7th house sign. That is the sign which is there in your 7th house. We see that. Now guys, I would like to tell you before you move forward, you can directly take consultation from us. We have created a website now. It's so simple. You can go there, link in description and the comment section below. You can just click there and just click of a button, you can just simply purchase directly consultation from us as the instruction are given on the website, and then we will just help you out in the consultation. Okay guys, so for that, links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation also. We will see that what kind of nature, appearance and what kind of qualities your spouse will have. Now again, I am adding that for seeing the full picture, we need to analyze the full chart, right? Like we have to see where 7th lord is placed, which is your Dharakarka, and where Dharakarka is placed, where Dharakarka is placed in the Navmancha. We have to analyze Navmancha chart. We have to analyze your 7th house lord placement in Navmancha. We have to analyze 7th house lord nakshatra and a lot of things, right? For that, full horoscope consultation is required. You can definitely check out the link are in description. You can take personal consultation from us as well to see the big picture. But still, in this video, we will see general characteristics or like the all those things of your spouse just by seeing your 7th house sign. So without wasting any more time, let's get started now. So guys, if let's say Aries sign fall in your 7th house, okay, if Aries sign is falling in your 7th house, that means you are a Libra ascendant. That's why Aries sign is falling in your 7th house. Now guys, if you are if Aries sign is falling in your 7th house, that means you are a Libra ascendant, right? You are Libra ascendant. That's why Aries sign is falling in your 7th house. Aries sign fall in your 7th house. Now you have to see that Aries is ruled by Mars, okay, and Mars will give your spouse like athletic kind of look, okay, very athletic kind of appearance or athletic body, we can say medium height maybe, right, and a stout body, maybe thin waist and a reddish look. Like you see some boys or girls, they look like good, they have little bit of reddish on their face, or we can say on their cheek, like some boys, for example, you are looking for your husband, then you can see some boys or men who have like that body, athletic body, and at the same time they have something red kind of thing on their body, like you know, those kind of Martian qualities kind of person you see, that kind of person you will get. And also for the female, if you are watching for your wife, then those beautiful girls with their red cheeks kind of thing, these things can be noticed if Aries is falling in your 7th house, guys. Now again, I am adding again and again that you have to see a lot of things, analyze like the 7th lord placement, nakshatra and navmancha, and a lot of things. For that, full horoscope consultation is required, right? But still, these things are seen. Mars kind of, you know, nature is there in them. Now the relationship with the partner will be, you know, little bit competitive, or I can say aggressive also in some cases. Although again, if there is like good aspect or like the Mars good placement, then these things will be less, or I can say in a good manner also, right? But if like let's say wrong place, and then maybe like little bit of competitive kind of relationship you have with your spouse. And sometimes it's not like that every time competitive relationship is bad. Let's say for an example, you and your spouse are like good, have good relationship, then you have like you have the competition. Okay, I will make my body fit. Your spouse should be like, oh, not only you, I will also make fit. Then you guys are like, okay, let's go for 40 days challenge, see whose body will be fit, whose body will be like, who will lose more weight in these 40 days. So these kind of things can also be seen, right? A little bit of aggression, obviously, because Mars energy is there due to Aries sign in your 7th house. So little bit aggressive also your spouse can be. The partner is a kind of little bit impulsive also, maybe a sports lover or a gym lover, or like the person who would like to do exercise daily to keep your body fit. That's really great. like he or she wants to do exercise daily or to play some sports so that their body will be fit, it can also be seen, right? And also the physically attractive as well as physically active, because also Mars energy is there. So if like other placement etc is good, Venus etc, and then obviously there may be like physically kind of matter there, we may be good. That's really a good thing. Okay, so guys, let's move on to our next sign, which is Taurus sign. If Taurus sign is falling in your seventh house, that means that you are Scorpio ascendant. Okay, now you are Scorpio ascendant and Taurus sign is falling in your seventh house. So being a Scorpio ascendant, you are your a Lagna lord, or like your ascendant lord is Mars. So you have these Martian qualities. And now your seventh house lord is ruled by Venus. Now your seventh house sign is ruled by Venus, right? Because Taurus is falling right there. And Taurus being like the grounded kind of a person is there. When Taurus fall in your seventh house, it may possible that your spouse may be like the grounded kind of a person. Okay, maybe have stable mindset. This is really good. Now as you know, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and so Venus, or we can say Taurus Venus, can give your spouse a very proportioned body, right? And very like well proportioned kind of body, and also a curvy hair. Like I personally like the beautiful curvy hairs, or I can say the wavy hairs kind of things are there when you have Taurus as your seventh house sign. And a beautiful lovely big eyes can be seen, okay, when you have Taurus as your seventh house sign. Again, I am adding that we need to analyze the full chart, the placements, Ramanch, and all these kind of things, right? These are just general things as per your seventh house sign. Okay, now also when Taurus is there in your seventh house, then your spouse can be charming and sensual also. Okay, charming as well as sensual also when your seventh house is like sign is like Taurus. Beautiful charming kind of spouse, especially if you are a male, then Venus is like your seventh lord in this case. Also Venus represent your wife. If you are a male, obviously, then in that case it represent a very beautiful charming gorgeous wife, and also like this sexually active kind of person, and a very good appearance obviously. Now the relationship with your partner will be loving, stable and peaceful, okay, when Taurus is there in your seventh house. And overall, like the sensual kind of partner you will get, these Venusian qualities are prominent in that person. Like he or she may love fashion, he or she may love these amazing things to wear, like the luxury lover, or we can say he or she may be creative person, and all those Venusian qualities are present in that person. Okay, maybe a homely kind of a person, very practical and a friendly nature. All these kind of things are seen when Taurus is placed in your seventh house, or I can say that Taurus sign is falling in your seventh house. Okay guys, now let's move on to our next sign, which is Gemini. Now if Gemini fall into your seventh house, then it means that you are Sagittarius ascendant. Okay, now your ascendant ruler is Jupiter, and your seventh house sign is Gemini, which ruler is Mercury. Okay, so now see, Gemini ruler is like the Mercury. Now Gemini guys are like witty kind of person. If your seventh house sign is Gemini, then Gemini guys are like girls and boys, or like if you're watching for your husband or wife, then your spouse will be like intelligent person and witty, like the quick minded, fickle minded kind of person, wants to maybe travel, maybe have the dream of traveling the world, and good communicator, good communication skill, bright small eyes, and very maybe sometimes very attractive appearance also, and they may impress people by their voice, or I can say like their communication, the way they talk is like amazing. Also it may possible that they may be in some kind of business also. One thing I would like to tell you, that if Gemini sign is falling in your seventh house, then between you and your spouse, communication is really important, right? Because for Gemini it's really important that you communicate with them, because marriage without communication for you is not good, especially when seventh house is falling like the Gemini sign. So it is always important that you communicate with your spouse, then your marriage is obviously better. I'm again adding, we need to see all those placement and where Mercury is placed and aspects, conjunction, which house is placed in your 7th house. Now mancha for that full horoscope consultation is required. So you can just take that, but still like these kind of things are seen. Now if Gemini sign is falling in your 7th house, then it may also possible that your spouse will be like the fun loving person, humorous, the person who would like to just travel the world. They want you to travel to foreign countries. Very overall like witty, skillful, and a clever minded and little bit flirtatious kind of person you will get if Mercury is falling, or I can say the Gemini sign is falling in your 7th house. Okay. Now guys, let's move on to our next sign, which is Cancer sign. If Cancer sign is falling into your 7th house, it means that you are a Capricorn ascendant. Now your ascendant lord is Saturn and your 7th house sign is Cancer, whose lord is Moon. Okay. Now if your Cancer sign is falling in your 7th house, then obviously you will get this Cancerian kind of spouse. Like, so uh, it is ruled by Moon. So Moon is like the gentle planet. Okay, generally it gives average height, fair complexion, large eyes, oval and round kind of, and heavy and bulky face, like the adorable face, but like the heavy and bulky face are seen when your 7th house is like the Cancer sign. But like the Moon qualities are present in your spouse when 7th house sign is Cancer, like the very nurturing kind of a person, caring person. Maybe if let's say you're watching for your wife, then she may cook for you, care you, like as your mother did. She may cook food for you, care you, and like the nurture you. Then these things are seen when 7th house sign is like Cancer. Okay. Now the relationship with your partner will be really protective and nurturing. Again, told you that again I'm telling you that if your Cancer sign is falling in your 7th house, then you may lucky a little bit, because uh, again I'm adding that you need to analyze where Moon is placed, conjunction aspects. So that is really important. These are just generally what I'm just trying to say. For that full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but still when Cancer sign is there in 7th house, then this kind of motherly nurturing nature is seen in your husband or wife. Okay, or we can say generally your spouse. Now guys, the relationship with the partner is like this kind of protective kind of and nurturing kind of relationship. Now your partner will be, your spouse will be like the loving, caring and mother like behaviors, right? She will really like, or he will really like your mother or father kind of things are seen, right? Very protective and caring nature is seen over here. Now let's move on to our next sign, which is Leo sign. Guys, if let's say as Leo sign is falling in your 7th house, that means you are Aquarius ascendant. Now the ruler of the Leo is Sun. Guys, even though the Sun is a harsh planet in astrology, but it rules the arts and entertainment. Okay, so it shows what, that if you have Leo in your 7th house, then it may possible that your spouse maybe love arts or entertainment, or maybe he or she could involve in these kind of things, and also maybe creative kind of things are also involved when Leo is there in your 7th house. Now also like the networking, team venture, all these kind of things can also be seen. Now the Leo native may be very creative and romantic also, right? So as your 7th house sign is Leo, so it may also possible that your spouse may be creative and romantic also. Even though your ascendant lord, as you are Aquarius ascendant, your ascendant lord is Saturn, which is quite a rough planet, but this placement as the ruler of Aquarius become very logical and flexible. Like you being the Aquarius ascendant, then you are like the logical and flexible too. Okay, and as your 7th house sign is Leo, then your spouse will be help you to just come out from the background, or like any situation and just shine. He or she could help you. Now as we know that Sun is the center of zodiac, and so after their marriage, the Aquarius native will be getting a lot of exposure in your life. So you know, if you are like the, obviously you are a Aquarius ascendant, that's why you have Leo as your seventh house. So after getting married, it may also possible that you become little bit famous, or let's say you do not like to be in front of camera or do not like to take photo, etc. It may also possible that you start to like all these things due to your spouse. Now, as Leo is there in your seventh house, then it may also possible that your spouse will add a lot of value in your life. Your spouse could be creative, interested in social activities. If let's say there are some bad influence, then in some cases it may also possible that your spouse could be a little bit egoistic also, because Sun is the significator of that as well. Uh, you guys are interested in like the science and technology and you know all these kind of things. So guys, overall you will get this creative and this sun nature kind of a spouse if Leo is placed in your seventh house. Again, I am adding said that we need to see a lot of things like where seventh lord is placed, Navmansha, Dharakarka and Nakshatras. To analyze the full chart, for that you can obviously fill the form and just, you know, links are in description. Now let's talk about our next sign, which is Virgo. If Virgo is there in your seventh house, then it means that you are Pisces ascendant. Now Virgo is ruled by Mercury and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So your seventh house sign Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Now this may be slightly complex relationship, as both of the sign cover like the hardships of like health, like the health diseases, emotional instability also. Now you both be like, you know, visionaries kind of a person who would have like the vision, and that will reflect in marriage as well. Now as you know, the Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, then it make your spouse very analytical, communicative, calculative too, right? And these guys are like very, you know, intelligent person also can be seen, especially when Virgo is there. um, the family environment may be spiritual also. uh, both of you can be seen as very romantic people, but they, you know, your spouse will surely be interested in, you know, well-being of society, right? These kind of nature can be seen when you have Virgo in your seventh house. Your spouse will be much frugal and will help, you know, help you to have financial stability also. Your spouse, like it is also possible that as your seventh house sign is Virgo, then your spouse maybe help you to gain like the financial stability. That's really a good thing. I also seen sometime that when, you know, you guys will marry, the Pisces ascendant guys will marry, then obviously as Virgo is there in your seventh house, then after getting married mainly you will get some kind of mission, or I can say vision in your life, that become your goal, and then you guys both work together and you want to just achieve that goal. These things can also be possible. uh, you know, you being Pisces ascendant, little bit like emotional, and you know, your emotion kind of thing can cause little bit challenges in your married life also. It is because of you, because you are Pisces ascendant, and emotional instability can be seen sometime in you. Again, I'm adding that we need to analyze the full chart, you know, placement of seventh house lord, nakshatra, and aspect, conjunction, D9, Dharakarka. We have to see that for full picture, but still these are general things. After marriage, you will learn a lot of practical approaches from your spouse. Okay. Overall, the marriage for you guys are like the prosperous. If you are Pisces ascendant and obviously Virgo in there your seventh house, then overall the marriage is like prosperous for you. Uh, and obviously you have to keep in mind that a seventh house ruler Virgo is like the Mercury, so communication is important. So you try to like just communication is always important, and intelligence for your spouse. So you have to keep that in mind. So now guys, if Libra sign is falling into your seventh house, that means that you are Aries ascendant. Okay, now your ascendant ruler is Mars, but your spouse ascendant ruler is Venus. Now here you see when Libra sign is fall in your seventh house, then you will get a beautiful and a sensual spouse. right? And the appearance of the spouse is really beautiful. Especially I am saying that if you are a male, then in this case it's really prominent that your spouse will be really beautiful. Also for the female, but for male, if you are watching for your wife, then it become really important, because obviously Venus represent your seventh house, as well as your seventh house lord, as well as Venus is the significator of your wife in a male chart. That's why. Now see, this person, your spouse, is like the attractive and have a very balanced personality, okay, by having the Libra in your seventh house. Now the relationship with your partner is very balanced when you have Libra in the seventh house. Is really good for having a very, soothing and balanced kind of relationship. I am again adding, we need to analyze the full chart to see the big picture, like where the seventh house lord is placed, in which nakshatra seventh house lord is placed. We have to analyze Dharakarka, Mansha, and lot of things, but still, like, generally we are saying that. Okay, now if you want full analysis, then obviously you can just contact us by filling the form. Now guys, again, all those Venusian qualities are also seen, like the creative person, beautiful, charming, sensual, harmonious kind of a relationship you will have your spouse, and a loving kind of relationship. It's really good to have, Libra, obviously, as your seventh house sign. And also like the very creative person, the fashion lover, one who would like to do a lot of fashion and use this perfume, scent, deodorant, etc. a lot. And the partner will be like artistic, and also the fair in relationship. These things are seen generally when Libra sign fall in your seventh house. Now guys, let's move forward to Scorpio sign. Guys, let's talk about the Scorpio sign. If Scorpio sign is falling in your seventh house, that means that you are Taurus ascendant. Now your ascendant lord is Venus, if you are Taurus ascendant, obviously. And if you are Taurus ascendant and the Scorpio sign is falling in your seventh house, that means your spouse ascendant lord, or like we can say, according to Scorpio, your spouse has the Mars kind of qualities, right? So Scorpio Mars give your, square, penetrating, and magnetic eyes, right? Right, it is seen that Scorpio Mars being in the seventh house sign, like for you, will give your spouse a very penetrating, or I can say magnetic eyes. These things are seen generally. There may be like the thick hairs. It is seen that your spouse may have thick hairs, and also a very, somewhat secretive appearance. When Scorpio fall in your seventh house, then there are high chances that your spouse will have somewhat secretive kind of nature, secretive thing is there in their life, like they are like this CBI and researcher kind of a person, or FBI, like who would like to investigate, right? They would like to just dig deep, right? And they are good in research generally, and they have like the secretive nature. uh the relationship with the partner is like the dynamic. If you have seventh house sign as, Scorpio, then you have very dynamic relationship with your spouse. Also transformation are also seen, because obviously you have like the Scorpio sign in your seventh house, which is naturally the, sign of transformation. So these things are also seen. Now it may also possible that your spouse could be passionate, secretive, possessive, and intense in emotions also, because obviously Scorpio sign is there. So emotional ups and downs can also be seen sometimes when Scorpio is there in your seventh house, seventh house sign. Again, I am adding that full horoscope analysis is required to see the big picture, because in that we see a lot of things. Again, Mancha, Dharakarka, seventh house lord, nakshatra, lord placement, a lot of things. So you can go for that, but these things are generally seen when Scorpio fall in your seventh house. Now let's talk about next sign, which is Sagittarius. When Sagittarius fall in your seventh house, it means that you are a Gemini ascendant, right? So your ascendant lord is Mercury. Now being a Gemini ascendant, it is important for you to talk and talk, like you want someone who is intelligent, you want someone whom which you can just travel the world, right? And these things are seen. Generally Gemini ascendant want their partner to be like, very intelligent kind of partner, who will just give advice on right time and also travel with them. So as Sagittarius fall in their 7th house, then they will get this Jupiterian kind of Sagittarius Jupiter kind of partner. uh, it give actually oblong face and smiling lips, maybe tall and jovial in nature kind of a person are seen your spouse when your 7th house sign is Jupiter. Now the relationship with partner is generally very joyful, cheerful, and mutual growth together, because obviously Sagittarius is also that kind of Mercury. Sagittarius is also like the Gemini kind of sign, which is they both like to just do these fun etc, but still like Sagittarius is more mature, we can say, in comparison to that of Gemini, because Gemini guys are like fun loving, adventure, travel, meeting new people, these things are seen. But Sagittarius in the comparison of Gemini a little bit better in seriousness kind of thing. So that's why I'm talking about the relation is like good with your spouse. If you are Gemini ascendant and Sagittarius is in 7th house, obviously is good. You will get a partner who is like the knowledgeable obviously, and she or he may guide you in life obviously that you want, and you will definitely grow together. Now partner you will get will be obviously optimistic, hopeful, philosophic kind of partner, and also he or she may be interested in higher learning, this Jupiterian kind of nature you will have, your spouse will have. Also he or she could be maybe interested in spirituality. A religious person can also be seen when Sagittarius is there in your Sagittarius is there in your 7th house. Now let's move on to our next sign, which is Capricorn. If Capricorn is fall in your 7th house, it means you are a Cancer ascendant. Okay, now your ruler is Moon and your spouse ruler is Saturn, as Capricorn is falling in your 7th house. See, Capricorn Saturn gives kind of a person who is like thin, maybe bony structure, body, like the tall height in some case. The native will have like your spouse will have, we can say, prominent teeth. They may have mature look overall, I can say. The maturity level of your spouse will be good for you. Okay, and also like the Saturn influence is there, so he or she will be like practical kind of nature is seen over there when Capricorn is there in your 7th house. The relationship that you share with your partner is like the cold and a practical relationship, right? So guys, see, every sign has their unique nature. Okay, now as you are like the Cancer ascendant, so obviously your your ascendant is ruled by Moon, so it may possible that you are like little bit more emotional and you do not you lack those practical, or I can say the grounding kind of thing. So that's why your divine counterpart, or I can say basically your descendant or your 7th house sign is Capricorn, so that your spouse can balance the qualities, or I can say the things that you are lacking. So Saturn, the Saturnian kind of spouse you will get, so that you guys can just help each other and grow in your life. So overall a mature, and whether you will get a mature spouse or you will get someone who is like older than you, right? Now again we have to see, now again we have to analyze the full chart, 7th house lord placement, nakshatra and Navmancha and Dharakarka, but still generally these things are seen. Your partner will be very ambitious, serious, practical, and a responsible person, right? So every sign has their ups and downs. So but the good thing still here is that partner is like the practical kind of person. He or she will help you to grow in your life, and obviously the quality that you are lacking, he or she will fulfill that. And also in their chart, the Capricorn kind of thing is important, like, or I can say that there may be Capricorn ascendant your spouse, or maybe Capricorn sun moon sign, or maybe some prominent planets are there in Capricorn sign in their chart. So these things are seen when Capricorn is falling in your 7th house. Now let's talk about our next sign, which is Aquarius. What will happen when Aquarius fall in your 7th? When your 7th house sign is Aquarius, that means you are a Leo ascendant. Now Aquarius is the sign of network circle, hopes and vision. Okay, now you guys, Leo ascendant, your spouse will be this Aquarius kind of spouse who is like the more cheerful and hopeful kind of person. Now they may be much business minded kind of person, uh, and have like the eye for the profit, right? It may seem sometime that your spouse, like the business kind of thing is always there in their mind, and they would like to just like let's do some business and profit, and all these kind of things are there in their mind. uh, However, according to the astrology, as the ruler of the Leo is Sun, that is your ascendant lord, and the Saturn, like the ruler of your spouse ascendant lord, which is according to seventh house of Aquarius. Uh, so you will have a very long-lasting karmic bonding. So that's really good. The long-lasting marriage can be seen by this generally. This is not very sweet relationship, but it's like a transformational relationship, guys, because Saturn and Sun are enemy, so that's why it's like little bit problems are there. But guys, guess what, which marriage doesn't have problem, right? Every marriage have problem. But again, we have to analyze the full chart, right? We have to see where seventh lord is placed. We have to see your Dharakarka, Nakshatra, and lot of things, because aspect conjunction mold and create something beautiful. For that, full horoscope analysis is required. Okay, guys. Now there will be a lot of love, but the spouse can be detaching also, right? In some cases, it may be possible that these things are seen. Also, being Saturn influence in your spouse may be, whether he or she could be older, or if she or she could be younger, then the maturity level of your spouse is like good. That's really helpful for you. You have to understand that being Aquarius in your seventh house, your spouse could be practical and logical, right? So you have to understand that. We have to see finally that like the Saturn placement also, if let's say Saturn is in good placement, uh, maybe like the good sign, friendly sign, own sign, then we can say that yes, we can assume that spouse will have a quite soft as well as practical and a good nature. Otherwise, obviously, we have to analyze the full chart. Without that, to see the full picture, we have to analyze the full chart. These are just general things that we can say according to your seventh house sign, Aquarius. Now let's talk about finally the Pisces. If Pisces sign is there in your seventh house, that means you are a Virgo ascendant. Now Pisces sign ruler is Jupiter. Okay. Now if you are a Virgo ascendant, then your seventh house sign is Pisces, which shows a very mysterious sign. Okay, because Virgo, Pisces is like the mysterious sign, and also it's the sign of moksha, right? See, when Pisces sign fall in your seventh house, then this give you a very philosophical spouse, and religious nature can also be there. She or he may give philosophical answers, and these philosophies are there in their attitude. uh, Now it may possible that for your spouse, like being Pisces as your seventh house sign, your spouse may be not focused too much on materialistic pleasures, like the money and all these kind of materialism. They do not have, or we can say it may possible that they don't have like much interest in these things, little bit interest, but more interest in enlightenment, spirituality kind of things are there. It shows that maybe your spouse is kind, receptive, little bit shy, maybe a soft spoken person. uh Sometimes they are like a bit lost, also a creative person, because it's originally the 12th house energy, maybe spiritual also, right? uh they have wandering eyes and long thick eyelashes, a faraway look, and we can say that angelic face. They usually appear too fragile. And as Pisces is there in your seventh house, then your spouse could be dreaming, right? They may be, dreamy kind of person. They have lots of dream, gentle, uh, approachable, spiritual also. Spiritual factor is always there with the Pisces sign. Okay. Now they may be selfless, like they have selfless kind of things, selfless sacrifice, selfless. These things can be seen. Pathetic, and these things are seen normally. Now it may also possible that as your seventh house sign is Pisces, then spouse can be a little bit sensitive and have compassion for others, right? And they may want to sometime escape reality because of the 12th house energy, like the Pisces kind of things. Because of their imagination and all these kind of things, your spouse can be in some creative field, like because their imagination can be good. Now being Pisces sign in your seventh house, it may possible that there is your spouse can be romantic and give selfless love to you. The selfless kind of thing is there. That's really good. It's really a good love. They create emotional ties to the people they love. That means your spouse could be emotionally love you. It's really good thing actually, because if it's like you're the person that you marry or the person that you love also love you emotionally, then it's really a great divine kind of love. So guys, this is all about your spouse as per your seventh house sign. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button, of course the big red subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.